Hello, everyone. Hello, Ingrid. How you doing?
Hello, Carlos. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How you doing?
So good to be here like always, and I'm so
Yes.
glad to have just everybody here today. This is going to be
Yes.
an amazing
Talk.
wow conversation today.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, very important, I think.
Yeah.
Very important. And then I guess it will be nice like always to start by one, of course, saying hi, and two, knowing where
Yeah.
everybody's coming from.
Jack the cat. There's one there.
We always have people from everywhere. Then
I
of
know.
course, starting here, you are there in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm here in Mississippi. We have people from Colombia.
Yeah.
And
Welcome, everyone. There you go. Thank you for joining
yes,
us.
yes, thank you for joining us. Oh gosh, I'm seeing here that little by little people start joining us, and
Yes.
is another special gathering
Yes.
with the universe, with the beings of light, with the spirit world. We have Isa from California. Hola, how are you doing today? This is so good.
Yeah.
This is so good. Just give few minutes and for people to join, and then yes, we start our evening here gathering all together. All together. I see. I now have access here to also see the people that is joining us from Instagram. We have New Jersey, we have Chile, we have Buffalo, New York.
Hmm.
Wow, this is so good. We have
Yeah.
from Australia. Wow, thank you for being here. I don't know the time in Australia, but I imagine it has to be
Early in the
very early in
morning.
the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe 7 a.m.
So
in the morning
thank
or something like that.
yes. So thank you for joining us. Oh, this is good. This is so good.
Yeah.
Wow, Carlos. So what brings us tonight here? Our
Well,
topic
tonight,
tonight.
yeah, we're gonna talk a very special thing that happened to everyone. So, what is it? After death communication, all those stories that happen to us, that happen to everyone, but nobody talk about. Just when you're alone with families, with how I'm gonna tell you what happened to me after this and so and so, But tonight we're gonna share some stories of what happened to me after I lost my mom and Sam Ingrid and the grieving, how we overcome the grieving is very important.
Yes. And like you say, Carlos, so many times I remember growing up, and we will come to talk about all these stories, but I started to see what we call spirits since I
Hmm.
was 6 years old.
You wasn't
And
afraid?
oh gosh, yes, I got very scared the very first time. And I was told not to talk to anybody about it because it was scary. People wouldn't understand. They would think
Yeah.
that you were crazy or lying, or it just was something that you should not actually share with anybody. So for many years, like you said, you would only talk about it with the members of your family very
Yeah.
secretly there, or just, I guess, with a best friend or something like that. But
Yeah.
it took many years to actually open up and talk about these things
Yes.
with
Same
the
to me.
public. Yes. And for me, like you mentioned, the fear. I was only 6 years old when I was sleeping, and it was the middle of the night, and my house. This was a time where it was kind of the moment to repaint the whole house, because the paint already looked like pretty
Hmm.
old, and my mom decided let's paint the house. And up to that point, I never knew that there was anything like that, about spirits or anything like that in the house. And after painting the whole house,
Hmm.
back then, back in the day, the paint had this really strong smell.
Yeah, the smell was very strong. Yeah, I remember.
Yes. And then we all stayed in one bedroom
Yes.
because we didn't want to smell this paint. And
Yeah.
then in the middle of the night, I don't know, it had to be it was very early in the morning, like 4, around 4, 3, 4 in the morning. I heard a noise, and the noise woke me up. And when I opened my eyes, I saw a shadow coming into the bedroom.
Mm.
And the moment I saw this shadow, I entered into what I would just call like like paralysis. I could not even talk, Carlos. I was
Wow.
so
Afraid.
afraid. And then I'm seeing this shadow, but despite that this was a shadow, I knew it was a man. It was like
Hmm.
I had that knowing, or I could sense the personality of this
Hmm.
being, and it was like strong, and it had a hat because I could just see the whole shape, and like it had a jacket, and it was walking pretty heavy, so I could hear the steps, and it crossed the bedroom,
Hmm.
and there was a walk-in closet,
Uh huh.
and it turned off the light of the closet, went into the closet, and closed the door. And
Wow.
I was petrified in fear. I could not move. I could not talk. And then it was the moment where finally when I was 6 years old, I was already communicating with what I call beings of light. This started to happen at a very early age. And the
Hmm.
moment I saw the light of one
Hmm.
of the beings of light, that fear went away, and I was able to call my mom, and my mom at that very moment stood out of the bed, and I followed her.
Wow.
And when I told my mom that what I have seen, and then my mom, which is incredible, she had revealed to me earlier on in my life that she could see spirits.
Mm.
And then the moment I told my mom what I have seen, she said, yeah, these are the spirits that live in the house. So my mom already have been seeing them and having connection or communication with these beings. And then is when I revealed to my mom that the beings of light
Hmm.
and the spirits were not the same. And then my mom asked me to explain because she thought that I was seeing the same thing she was seeing. And what I call beings of light, she thought it was the spirits too. And then
Okay.
I explained to her, she said, I think that you see angels. My mom almost cried. And then it's when I said, no, mom, the spirits and the beings of light are not the same. But then later I got to understand when I asked the beings of light, what were these spirits? Because they caused me fear. And that's the one thing that many people experience sometimes about the spirit world or the spirits is this sense of fear. And then when I said, what is with these? And I called them dark spirits because I was fearful. And they said, no, 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 no. That you call a spirit,
Hmm.
as you, in the core of our being, we're all the same.
Hmm.
The
Wow.
difference is how aware you are about who you truly are.
Mm.
See, and the reason sometimes why what we call spirits,
Hmm.
which are just our soul,
Yeah.
to call
Without
it
the body.
soul. Yeah, exactly. States attached to the matters of this world is because we still have things that we wanted to do here, or we still have attachments with the physical reality, the people that we love. And we will talk more about that, but they say the only reason why you felt fear is because there's nothing wrong with them. The reason you felt fear is because it's just frequency. It's just a change in frequency. There's just different frequency. And when we fear the unknown, and we fear what feels different, or what we cannot really comprehend or sense in the way we sense things in our everyday life. And that was the reason for the fear. But they were telling me there's really nothing to fear, especially the connections that you're having are with your loved ones.
The
How
loved
how
one.
can we fear our loved ones? that are in heaven. What do you think, Carlos?
I think, well, for me, the fear is more like Hollywood because since we're childs,
Yes.
we're watching movies about ghosts and the scary movies and all that. So we start planting this on our heads, you know. Like if we see a shadow, if we did, it's gonna be a monster. It's gonna be a what is it in Spanish, el coco, something under the bed, the monster under the bed, or the monster inside of the closet, and we're gonna be super scared, you know. But that's good. I never see anything like that. um, yeah, thanks God. But what I'm gonna tell you is I have an experience with my mom. So my mom died in 1999 with breast cancer. Before she died, I was talking to her because we knew, I mean, there was nothing else to do. My mom had the cancer for like 3 years, but she didn't want to say anything to us because she didn't want to worry us. You know, when she finally said something, because she was living away from us, we didn't know what was happening to her. It was too late. So at the time that we went to the doctors and all that, and said, "Mom, look what you did. If you tell us with time, this will be another story." You know. Anyways, I told her like, look, after you cross over, I need to know that you're fine. So I need an answer. I need a communication. Send me something. I don't know. Just tell me that you're okay. I'm just gonna be on peace if you say something, you know, or send me something, you know. Well, back home is the Latin culture is we do 9 days of praying for the soul. So what this prayer is gonna do is gonna elevate the soul, so the soul can live faster from this plane, you know. And I was watching a documentary a long time ago, and a medium. I just want to explain this before I continue. The medium was saying like, look, some spirits stay here after they transitioning, you know, because they want to stay close to their family, they want to stay close to their friend, they want to stay in the house, because I believe the same way that it's hard for us to process that they leave, it's hard for them to process that they are not here anymore. Where they are with us, but we cannot communicate, you know. And the guy, the medium guy, was saying like, so they can stay, I don't know, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, 100 years in the same place, but the light is gonna show up to them like several times, you know. And the angel is gonna come and gonna say, "Okay, do you have enough of this? You want to go home, back home, on heaven?" And then they open a portal, and then they can go to the white light to God, you know. And he said that he witnessed a lot of these ghosts when he's getting called to houses like, "Hey, I have a ghost." So he speak with the ghost and say, "Hey, it's time to go. You're not doing anything here. It's better you go with God. It's going to be better." And he called the angels and everything. Angels come and they take the soul, you know. But what I'm going to tell you about my mom was, on those 9 days that we pray for her, I was thinking on her like, "Mom, do you remember you told me you're gonna communicate with me and you're gonna say something to me?" You know, every morning I was waking up like, "This is a nightmare. This is not happening." You know, like my mom, I cannot believe she's gone. You know, and it was really hard to believe. You know, and the third day after we were praying for her, I have a dream, and in the dream I was in my grandmother's house. She lived in a big house. She have like 6 bedrooms, and in this dream, I was in the living room, and all my family was in the living room, like celebrating something like Christmas, you know. And everybody was having a good time. Everybody was eating, and then I was with my grandmother, and my grandmother said, "Carlos, I think I heard something." I said, "What, Grandma?" I said, "Well, in your mom's bedroom, your cellular phone is ringing. Could you go and check it out?" So
Mm.
in that side of the house, like half of the house is living room, dining room, family room, and all that, the kitchen, and all that, and the other side of the house is just the bedrooms, you know. So the light was off in those bedrooms, but I walk into one of the bedrooms when my cellular phone was, and I grabbed the phone, and the phone was ringing with an unknown number. So I grabbed the phone and I said, "Hello, hello, who's this?" Nobody answered, and they hang up the phone. Guess what? The next day, I received the same dream again. I go to sleep, I have the same dream, same party, my whole family celebrating. My grandma called me again. "Carlos, the phone is ringing in your mama's bedroom, you know. So I go to my bed again, to my mom bed, and I grab the phone and I see the this number and I hello, hello, nobody answered. And at this
Mm.
moment I knew my mom was already passed, you know. I knew in the dream that she wasn't here. Guess what? The third day, same dream. But in this moment, I was mad. I said, okay, if you don't want to talk to me, if you don't want to say anything to me, I'm just gonna turn off the phone and I don't want to say anything else. Okay, so you better talk right now, or I'm gonna take the battery off the phone. At that
Okay.
moment, the phones you could take the battery. Right now, it's almost impossible to take the battery. But anyways, in that moment, there was my mom voice. I said, "Hey, it's me. It's your mom. You remember?
Oh
Yeah,
my
we
God.
did the thing, but I just want to let you know I'm fine. This is great here, but I'm breaking the rules. I don't supposed to be doing this, okay? So this is gonna be the last time that I'm gonna say something to you, but I just want to let you know I'm fine." And then click, and she left. The communication was, and I
Oh,
felt like so much peace on my soul. And another thing that it happened after I come back because my mom, um, we took the body. We used to live in the city, so she took my mom. My whole family took my mom's body like 5 hours away when my grandfather was at the cemetery because she want to be next to her father. So when I come back to the city, like 2 weeks later, my mom house, my mom used to have a lot of aloe vera, and those aloe veras have been there since I was a child. You know,
mm.
she have aloe
Yeah,
vera in front of the house, aloe vera in the back of the house. She love aloe vera, and she
yeah,
have
yeah.
I forgot the name of this flower, but well, anyways, the flower they use in Irish, you know, the three leaves, you know, the three or four for luck.
Um,
Do you remember?
mm.
Anyways,
Yeah, I cannot
so
remember.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So when we arrived to my mom house, all the the aloe veras, they have flowers, like white flowers everywhere. And the smell was smelling like perfume. Like my mom perfume was super strong. And in that moment I knew she was like saying like I'm fine and all these flowers are for you, you know. It was really amazing. Have you ever had something like that before?
Oh my God, this is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think a lot of us receive and get these signals. And oh, thank you, Claudia. We love you too. There
Thank you,
was
Claudia. Hmm.
you know, Carlos, you talk about two things that are, or many things that are beautiful, important, but one thing is like, imagine when there's like the story I was telling at the beginning,
Yeah.
beings that stay attached to, for example, to a house or to a
Hmm.
material space, or
Hmm.
it's incredible that we can do a lot to help them through prayer, through
Yeah.
presence, through meditation, through asking. We can guide them to the light.
Hmm.
When in
Hmm.
situations like that, there's some beings that are just very, very just maybe trapped in the idea that, or they fear that the material world is their safety net. And then when we pray and we guide them to the light, they're able to leave. But there's some other cases in which,
Hmm.
like you say, Carlos, they're going to remain with us for very long time, because time is not relevant and is not the same in the spirit
Yeah.
world. And some people say, but you have to let them go, but it's not like that. So I'm
Hmm.
going to tell you this incredible experience I had that demonstrated to me that in reality love is what matters and connection is what matters. And it was a time when I went to a conference,
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't expecting to go to this workshop, but there was a
Okay.
workshop about mediumship,
Hmm.
and then I wasn't really interested about going, and then but I felt this pull, this thing that tells you, you go, you go,
Go,
you
go,
go.
go, go, go. Yeah. The
So,
inner
and
voice
I,
telling you.
yes, the inner voice just kind of pushed me into that room, and I'm like, okay, I'm going. And because I was speaking at the conference, I was allowed to go to the different workshops. So I went into this workshop, and then there was a moment where we formed groups. It was a big room with a lot of people. We formed groups of 10 people, and the lady guided us through our meditation, and it was very beautiful. And when I was in the meditation, I encountered two beings of light, because the way I also see
Mm-hmm.
our loved ones, the way I also see the spirit, all the spirit world is light. I saw these two. I guess I will explain later maybe why I saw different. The first spirit I saw, it was just a spirit, like you would call it ghosts, the beings that are
Mm-hmm.
very sometimes attached. Their
Mm-hmm.
frequency is lower. That's why I saw this being as a shadow. But in this case, I saw two children, and
Mm.
they were shining in light.
Oh
And
wow.
when I saw the two children, one of the children said to me, and it was just like so clear and so like resonant, telling me, tell my mom that I am being loved.
Mm-hmm.
Tell
Wow.
my mom that I am being loved. And he kept repeating the same thing. And then after that, he said, tell my brother, and my brother Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said the full name, my tell Jacob that I'm being loved too. Or that I'm being loved, and that he is loved as well.
Mm.
So he kept repeating this. And after that, I turned around and I saw the other child, and he said, tell my mom, tell Isa that I love the butterflies. And then
Wow.
again, the older boy say again, tell my mom that she doesn't need to hurry, that she doesn't need to worry. I am being loved. And then now the meditation ended, and of course it was time in there that we all had to come back. And then now it was like, now everybody was to share the stories, and
Mm-hmm.
people started to share what they had experienced. And when my moment came,
Mm-hmm.
it was the energy, Carlos, was so strong I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't talk, and I
Wow.
started to cry, and I just couldn't talk. It was like, and then all the ladies were amazing because they calmed me down and everything is okay. And when I come down is when I said, I just met two children, two boys.
Mm-hmm.
One is around 17, 18 years old, because
Mm-hmm.
you get to feel the personality,
Yeah.
the age. And
Mm-hmm.
then I said, one is around 18 years old, and he's telling me to tell his mom to please not worry, that he's being loved. And he's
Mm-hmm.
repeating this several times. And then he's saying, tell my brother Jacob, that he's loved as well. And it's when the mom stood up.
Mm.
She said, he's my son, he's my son. And then now I understood why he was repeating, tell her I'm being loved. And she's when she said to me, he committed suicide two
Oh
weeks ago.
wow. Wow.
So he was telling his mom, I'm fine, I'm being loved, because it's always this idea that if you
Yeah.
commit suicide, you're in hell, that you're going to
Mm-hmm.
be punished. And no, he was showing me, tell her I am fine,
Wow.
and I'm being loved. And then the other thing they said, when he said, tell my brother and tell my mom, he was also telling me to tell
Mm-hmm.
the mom not to also look at her at the brother, that don't
Mm-hmm.
forget the brother is there, because sometimes we are so caught up in our own grief,
Yeah.
we cannot see the other children or the other people around us. So he was pretty much also guiding the mom to be with the brother. And then there was the 3 year old. And you're not going to imagine, Carlos, what happened here. This is
What happened?
incredible, because the 3 year old, when I said there's a 3 year old, and he's saying, Isa, Isa, I love the butterflies. And the mom just like, she said, what? That's my son. But he said, but he died 30 years ago. So
Wow.
that's when I received this message from the beings of light that said that it did not, that the point of this whole experience I was having was to show me contrast, to
Mm-hmm.
show me how it did not matter that one of the one child had died 2 weeks ago and another one 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was, as long as there's love, as long as there's connection, as long as we need each other,
Mm-hmm.
they stay. We just uh, keep connected. Time doesn't matter. What matter is love. So it was that clear example, because sometimes people say you have to let this person go,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like that. As long what we or what our loved one want is that we are happy, that
Mm-hmm.
we are joyful. So
Mm-hmm.
if we actually work through our grief,
Mm-hmm.
but we keep a healthy and beautiful communication with our loved ones in the spirit world, time doesn't matter. Time is just an illusion. They are going to stay with us because we
Mm-hmm.
are, they know, and the great love and compassion of the universe know that we need each other to just keep evolving. The important thing is to work with the grief and find
Mm-hmm.
that place of peace and joy again.
Inside. Yeah,
Yeah.
that happened to me too. When my mom died, it was hard for me. And I remember one of her best friends, she was a psychologist, and she said something that really helped me a lot. So her friend said, Carlos, I know that you and your mom were very close. So what I'm going to tell you is going to heal you, because every time that you remember your mom, it's like you're cutting yourself. So you're going to bleed, every time that you remember, you're going to cry, but I'm gonna tell you this: just and listen what I'm telling you, because I had patients in the past and they're doing it, and it works. I said, like, okay, what is it? I said, well, you're gonna get a box, and in that box, a big box, you're gonna get all the pictures of your mom and everything that remember. I'm gonna put it in that box, and then you're gonna close the box, and you're gonna put it in the closet, and you don't know how long it's gonna take, but that's gonna heal. Everything
Mm.
is gonna heal inside of you. And I cannot tell you it's gonna get 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years. But one day when you finally accept that your mom is gone and you're fine with that, you're gonna go to the closet, get the box, open, watch every picture with happiness, because you know that she's better, in a better place right now in heaven, and you're gonna feel happy, and it works really good for me. Have you ever heard that before, Ingrid?
Yes. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's really, really beautiful. Another thing, just to kind of even complete what you're saying, Carlos, which
Uh-huh.
is absolutely beautiful. When my mom passed, again, is that pain, that grief. Oh
Hmm.
gosh, the heart turns into, like, it shatters into
Yeah.
millions of pieces. And then I had the opportunity to communicate with my mom, and I have had the opportunity to do it several times. And one of the times I did it with the help of a medium. She's just an incredible, incredible medium. And then she said that the only thing that my mom missed about the, let's call it, the human experience, of course,
Uh-huh.
the love and all that, with and the hugs and all that with the loved one, but she said something she really, really missed was to touch the dirt,
Mm.
because she loved planting, and
Yes.
she loved plants and flowers, and she had the green thumb. And then, it was incredible, because that gave me an idea, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, one of the things that she really misses is to touch the dirt. And then I said, what if I start doing that for her? Because we think that because they're gone, they're gone. No, we can have that moment of prayer, communion, connection. And then I decided to start planting things and touch the dirt to honor her. And just
Mm.
to kind of have the feeling like, mom, just feel this dirt through me. So
Wow.
we can always do things like that, that kind of
Honor.
give us back that, yeah, and that sense of connection. And incredibly, when people say my mom is gone, or my dad or my son is gone, and I said, when we do stuff like that, like the little bugs, like the planting things, or eating something they love to, or smell the air, or
Hmm.
go for a walk in meditation, is like they are everywhere. They're
Hmm.
everywhere. So their presence is just always there. They live through us. This is the presence is always there.
Yeah, no, you're
Yes.
right. You're right. I have another experience with a friend of mine that she have cancer. So when my mom had cancer, I helped her a lot. And but when she passed, I said, you know what, I'm gonna help anybody around me, because when she had that, I didn't have anybody around me, so I
Mm.
know how families have to struggle because of that. So I went, and a friend of mine, after 5 years, she was coughing for 5 years, and every time that I was seeing her, I was like, do you go to the oh, I don't like doctors, I hate doctors. And I was like, yeah, but you need to go and check that. No, it's nothing, don't worry about it. After 5 years, she developed cancer. Anyway, she
Mm.
went into a treatment for a year, and when she passed, I have an incredible event that happened. So we went to the funerary, and we stayed there like all day, I remember. And when we came back to her house, she had like 7 sons. So when we come back to his house with the whole family, and we opened the door, it was it wasn't a smell like a perfume, but it was like somebody just broke the whole entire perfume all over the house. Like, you grab the bottle and you put the perfume everywhere, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it smells so strong! Something is broken." So we start looking everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. We couldn't find anything in the house, and I remember that I go to the dining room area, and there is a plant. I forgot the name. My mom used to call the millionaire. It's like a
No.
little. You know what it is?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I think that's common in South America.
yeah, South
Yeah.
America. But in the doctor's office, they put it in every doctor's office. They put that. It's like a little pole with like some leaves.
Hmm.
And that little plant was full of flowers, like balls of white flowers, and the smell was coming from the flowers. And
Oh
when
my
we're like,
gosh.
whoa, it was, well, crazy. And then somebody started screaming, "Come outside of the house! Come outside of the house!" So we went outside of the house, and on the top of the house was a circle, like a rainbow on the top of the house. So everybody
Wow.
was taking pictures of that, and that happened with her. And like months later, a friend of mine invited me to a party, and in the party was a medium. I didn't know what a medium was. Okay. So a friend of mine, "Oh, you need to check this medium. She's super good." And I thought medium was the same as a clairvoyant. So I thought it was the same terminology, but no, medium is to speak with the dead. Clairvoyant, she can see the future. I thought it was the same thing. And then I sit down with this medium and say, "Okay, tell me my future." And she said, like, "Well, I'm a medium. I don't tell you the future. I can speak with the dead." I was like, okay, no, thank you. I said, like, "No, no, 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 come on, come on. Don't be afraid. It's okay. I'll do this since I was 3 years old." This girl said to me, I said, like, "Yeah, but I don't want to bother anybody. It's okay. Don't worry." I said, "Come on, don't worry. Don't be afraid. Sit down." And she said, "Look, I'm just gonna be a channel, like somebody is gonna come, could be a friend, could be somebody from your family, and I'm just gonna tell you what a message they want to tell you. And one of the first person that came was the friend that she had cancer, and I didn't believe it. I mean, it was really hard for me to believe this. I was like, you're making this up, right? But no, she wasn't making it up, because when she started talking about my friend, she said, "Hey, your friend is telling you, do you remember the bracelet that you gave it to her, and it was under the cabinet and blah blah blah?" And so, like, nobody knows that. I was like, how
Mm,
this
yeah.
girl that I'm seeing right now know what my friend was telling her. And she said, "Look, your friend," she said, "she's very grateful that you went with her through the whole um, journey of cancer." And she said, "Your soul is connected with her
Mm.
soul from here
Mm.
to the other side. And she just wants you to open your eyes." I said, like, "For what?" And she said, "Because now she can see through your eyes, because she said their eyes is the window to your soul. And now she can see your soul through your eyes." So I opened my eyes, and she said, like, "Look, Carlos, the only thing that I'm going to tell you," this was the medium translating what my friend was saying, "is try to help people as much as you can. Try to be an example for others, and do of your life, I mean, something amazing that you're going to be proud the day that you leave this world." And I mean, we were talking for a little bit, for like 10 minutes, and then the medium said, "Okay, I got to go. I need to cut it." So say goodbye to her. And she started like crying, and she didn't want to go. I said, sweetie, I'm gonna pray for you. You're gonna be fine. And she said, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. But I just want to let you know that love is everything, and love is gonna connect us from this side to the other side. And then she left, and I was like, wow, 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 wow. I never see
Wow.
anybody any other medium after that, but that was an amazing thing because she told me stuff that she even called me by my nickname. That this girl that was a medium, I never see her in my life before, and I was like, wow. So this is real. It's really hard to believe, but yeah, it was amazing.
And you know what is amazing? And
Hmm.
I mean, always you store because it shows us the beauty and the presence of God everywhere. You know, that tendency we were talking at the beginning of having fear of the Hollywood story of
Hmm.
like things that are bad and negative. No, it's all is depending where is our heart, where is the
Yes.
openness of our heart and mind, and if we are beings of good and connection and love, that's what we're projecting, that's what we're seeing, that's what we're communicating, and there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear, and also sometimes happen, and there's some of the questions that ask, and it happened to people that they feel the sense that nothing is really happening, or like you said, the spirit world is wonderful. You're talking about the but manifested here, the rainbows, the smell, the
Hmm.
flowers, and sometimes
Hmm.
we miss those signs. Things are
Hmm.
happening around us all the time.
Yeah.
We just have to be alert. We have to learn to quiet the mind, and we have to learn to see what is happening around us. Look, eh, with my sister, we
Uh-huh.
experienced something incredible, Carlos. One
What
day,
happened?
she's telling me,
Uh-huh.
Ingrid, my mom is not talking to me. I don't think she's even around. And I kept telling her she is around. I don't think so. She is not communicating at all. I haven't really felt her. And we were talking in the phone, and she was walking the street. And at that moment, she entered to a coffee shop, but it
Hmm.
was a place she's never been before. She just walked into this coffee shop, and she ordered a coffee, and that thing that they ask for your name, so when the coffee is ready they can call you.
Okay.
So the lady, and I'm in the phone listening when she gave her
Ordering the
name.
the coffee.
Yeah, she ordered the coffee, gave her name, and then okay. And she and I kept talking in the phone, and we're talking about that very subject. Oh, I don't feel my mom. And then at that moment, the lady that called her to get her coffee, she, instead of the name of my sister is Fabiola.
Uh-huh.
At that moment, she said, Olga, your coffee is ready. And Olga was the name of my mom.
Wow. Your mom communicated like there, so you knew that she was there present.
And my mom and my sister and I almost dropped the phone. I said, what? And she's like, and she went to the lady, why you're calling this name? And she said, that's the name that you gave me. I was listening when she didn't
Her name.
give the name of my mom. So it's when I said, I told you, my mom is here. You just have to learn to just be open. And people talk a lot about when they're, maybe the word that comes for some people is belief. I think the word that comes for me is the word trust, the word
Hmm.
faith.
Hmm.
Know that they are here, and have that trust in your heart, that by just quieting the mind and learning to see the signs, you're going to be able to see the flower, or to sense the smell, or to hear the bird, or whatever that actually represents, or was a symbol
Hmm.
that opened the door for you to know that your loved one is there. What do you
Wow.
think about that, Carlos? I think,
No, everything that you say is true.
yeah.
Look, somebody put is the money plant. That's the name of the plant, the money plant.
Yes, it's the money plan.
Yeah, I just want to let you know, everybody. In few minutes, we're gonna start answer all the questions that you guys have there. We just want to get the conversation flowing, and then in a few minutes, we're gonna start answer you because we're seeing all the questions. And thank you so much for being here. Um, what I can say. Sometimes people think that their parents are not communicating, or their brother or their sister. What I feel, what I can tell is sometimes some spirits want to go with God, and they go right away. And another spirits stay right here. Like my mom, when my mom died with breast cancer, she was I told her, Mom, if you see the light, because I start reading a lot of books, I mean scientific books, I mean doctors, and a near death experience and stuff, and everything was going to the movie Ghost. You remember, with Patrick Swayze? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like he get out of the body, out of body experience, and then the light show up, and he have to choose and say goodbye, and then the light, he have to go through the light. So I said, remember, when the light come, you go straight to the light. You don't want to stay here, because you already did everything for us. We graduated at the university. I mean, you did the best for my sister and me, and you don't have anything else to do here. You need to go with God, okay? But guess what? As soon as she crossed over in my house for like a month, the lights went flickering. Like I used to go
Mm-hmm.
to bed, I don't know, 11 p.m., and then at 12 noon, midnight, all the pans in the kitchen, bam, boom, bam, the glasses and everything. I was like,
Yes.
Mom, so I have to run out of my room, go to the kitchen, turn the lights on. Mom, what I told you? I told you to go to the light. You gotta stay here, okay? I understand that you're here. So what I did was I just called my aunt. I have an aunt that she's very religious, so I said, Aunt, let's go to church and let's pray for my mom, and let's do a service for her, so her soul can go in peace, like, because maybe she felt, I think moms are more worried about their kids, even that we're big and we grow up and everything, but they just want to keep protecting us, but I told my aunt, I think it's time to let her know that she need to go with God. I mean, because they're waiting there, and I don't want her to be right here worrying about. She cannot do anything, And we did that, and
Mhm.
then my my aunt, that she's very religious, she said she had a vision during the service. It was a Christmas time when we did the service for my mom, and she said she had like a vision of my mom dressing completely white, and the light behind her, it was getting white, white, whiter, and my mom said goodbye, and she smiled and she
Mm,
left through the light. So it was really
mm.
amazing. So yeah, and I never felt it again after that. Yeah,
Wow, Carlos, I love, but that's also in you being ready for her to go to the light, and
yeah,
with that I want to talk a little bit about grief,
yeah,
because sometimes I have met people that feel that if they are having fun, or if they're going out, or they're happy, is bad, that they should
hmm,
feel bad about that because their loved one passed. And it is not the case. They want us to be happy, they want us to be joyful, and when we're ready also, we open our heart for them and to guide them to the light too. But that has to be, and it's all about timing, isn't it,
yeah,
Carlos? It
yeah,
all takes time. But in my experience, when I was grieving my mom, it don't matter how many near death experience we have had or anything. I mean, like, is this body, this connection part in the physical realm is so hard when a loved one pass. And then I was grieving so hard, and I had this. The story is long, so I'm going to give it very short. But in a vision, I met a being of light,
okay,
and the being of light came to me, and he asked me if I wanted to have fun.
okay,
And when I met the guy, I'm like, Of course not." And he said, like, "Why not?" And I said, "Because I am grieving." And that had two important parts. One, it was
hmm,
the recognition, yes, I am grieving. We have
hmm,
to have the acceptance that yes, it hurts, and we are in pain, and then yeah, that grief is our heart is torn apart. And two, the moment that I told the being of light I could not go do anything because I'm grieving, it was this smile of love. And then
hmm.
the being of light gave me some tools to help with grieving. And
Wow.
he told me three reasons why we could grieve. And it's not just
Hmm,
for the passing of somebody we love. We could
hmm,
grieve because when in life we have experienced big change,
hmm,
or when our expectations have not been met,
Mm-hmm.
or when we lose a loved one. So imagine all the grief we accumulate in our lives.
Oh
And
yeah.
then he said that the thing that happen when we're grieving is we tend to kind of go like this and coil up and like go like in a shell. He says for
Mm.
that it's important to shake, to move.
Oh
He said,
wow.
"Why do
Okay.
you think that the cultures, the Indians, the Africans, our ancestors used to dance and move,
Yeah.
especially when there was it was like a celebration and it was movement, because that helps the body and that helps to release the energy." So he said one very important thing is, even if you're by yourself, you don't want to be sitting in the bathroom, shake your
Mm-hmm.
body. If you have the chance, play music like drums help because of the vibration of the drums.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you release the energy and the movement. And one other thing, don't try not to be alone, try to share, try to, and if you don't have a loved one, if you even can do it with a therapist, with some, don't be alone, try to ask for help if you need the help.
Yep, yep.
So
I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you what I did. I did something like that. So when my mom died, I quit my job because we didn't have nobody to take care of her. You know, like it was 24 hours that you have to be with her and with the chemotherapy and
Mm.
everything. You know,
Oh no.
and so what I did was after she passed, like my whole world was on the floor. I was like, oh, now what? You know, life goes on. You need to continue living, and amazing things happened to me. So the number one thing was I didn't have any money, and I was like trying to look at job and everything. And I remember like 2 3 months after my mom passed, uh, I have a little brother from my dad's second marriage that he called me like, "Hey Carlos, can we go to the mall and get you? Could you get me a what is it a chart teeth?" I said like, "You're still hanging in here." He was like 8 years old. I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I'm going to get you one." It used to be like everybody used to use that, you know.
Yeah,
Maybe it was fake plastic one or
yeah,
something, you know.
yeah,
But anyway, he
remember.
was a kid, and it was like, well,
Yeah.
let's get your plastic teeth, like the chart, you know. And I remember I was going to the mall, and I was entering to the mall, and this guy, they looked like Santa Claus. He was all pink, with a white hair, white beard. He's like, sir, could you please help me? Could you please help me?" And I was like, "Sir, I'm in a hurry because I need to buy something to my brother before the mall close." "Yeah, but hold on. You need to help me." I said, "What happened, sir?" I said, I sell lottery tickets, and I didn't sell any lottery today." I said, "Sir, I'm sorry, but I don't play lottery. I really, I'm sorry. I mean, my parents told me to don't play lottery, don't spend my money on that. Okay, so I'm sorry. I don't know even how to play that." "No, but please just do me a favor and buy me at least one number because I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't sell these tickets outside." I said, "Okay, sir, how much is the ticket?" $2. "Okay, take your $2." And he's gonna give me the tickets. Like, no. Yeah, you need a ticket. I'm gonna give you a good ticket. What ticket you want? I said, like, "Sir, I don't even know how to play that." Okay. And he's like, "I'm gonna give you a good one." So he get one and he gave it to me. I was like, "Thank you, sir." Well, I'm going to the mall, get the chart teeth for my little brother, and I take him to his house. Then I go back home. When I get home, I throw the ticket in the garbage can. And the next morning, I wake up around 9 or 10, and it was Sunday. And I started cleaning my room, cleaning the house. And I said, I'm gonna put the news. Maybe let me see what was going on today, Sunday. So I turned on the TV, and it was the lottery tickets at that time, that morning, you know. And I said, "Oh, then the lottery." So I get a piece of paper and a pen and start putting the numbers. And I remember after I put the number, I started looking for the lottery ticket, and I couldn't find it. I was like, "Where's
Oh
the lottery?" "Oh, I throw it in the garbage can." So I go to the garbage can, get the ticket. Guess what? In that
no, you
lottery ticket, you
won.
have you have to no, I wish you have to to match 15 numbers. I match 14 numbers. With 15 numbers, I will get $200 million. With
Whoa.
14 numbers, I get like $15,000, and with those 15,000, I mean, it helped me like you don't have an idea. The weird thing was that I came back after I get the money to the same place to give the money. I mean, some money to the guy who sold me the ticket, and he didn't show up. So I started asking people around that, hey, do you know this old man with a white beard, with a white hair? It's like, no, we never had somebody like that here. So for me,
No.
it was like an angel. So
Yeah.
so that happened to
Wow.
me, and it was really amazing. And that was after my mom passed. Like I said, I didn't have any job, I didn't have anything
Wow,
financially,
Carlos, that's
but it
amazing.
was, I think it was my mom a message or something that get to that point. And because the guy never showed up, like nobody knew what I was talking about. And I was, yeah, he was right here. I bought the ticket right here. He was like, no, never, nobody being there. I was like, yeah, I saw you. Give me a ticket.
Oh,
So
wow,
yeah,
wow.
sometimes I mean we have angels that show up in front of us and we don't even know
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
angels. But
And
that was beautiful.
we're going to do a talk about that and another time, Carlos, about
Oh, the
yeah,
angels, yes.
yes,
And
yes.
I'm gonna tell you something. If somebody is grieving, this is what I did. After my mom passed and I couldn't find a job because I quit my job to take care of her, what I did a schedule. So I put in the morning, I put the whole day schedule Monday through Sunday. So in the morning, like I wake up, take a shower, I put it hour by hour, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, what to do and repeat it the rest of the week. Wake up, pray, meditate, take a shower, then go make breakfast, then go for an hour walk. Then after that, I go to the
Yeah,
library for another hour to read a book. And after that, I go to the hospital to check in some people. Then I go to church, pray a little bit. Then I go to the office of employment office to check a job. And every day I was doing something. In the afternoon, again, I go to the gym from 1 to 3. Then I go and climb the mountain. And every day I was doing something. Just keep your mind busy,
yeah.
because if you don't keep your mind busy, you're gonna be start thinking in your mom, in your dad, or the family member that you just lost. So that was a secret sauce for me, and I just give it to you guys and just do it. It works. Works really good. Okay, just keep
Oh,
busy and
thank
make
you.
your schedule. What do you think?
Thank you, Carlos. That's amazing. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
we're reaching the moment where we're going to answer questions. But
Yes.
before that, and if we passed a little bit, just a few minutes is okay. But because I want to show
Sure.
everybody something, and is that I had this experience, Carlos, in which one day the beings of light brought me a message. It was a vision, 3 in the morning, and in the vision I saw technologies that were advancing in the
Oh
spirit
wow.
realm
Wow.
for the human realm, or the physical realm and the spirit realm
Okay.
to communicate, to kind of like perfect. And this is happening more and more. We have is we see more and more people talking about it and being able to connect with their loved ones. And then I received, even I saw the buildings, I saw all that was happening in that realm of the spirit, and us here also perfecting the way to communicate. And okay, that happened this night. And then next day, I received an email where I was invited to watch this talk. It was
Mm-hmm.
going to be a presentation about the afterlife. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even thinking about going to that presentation. Again, these things that life and synchronicities bring you there. And then, okay, I went to the presentation and it was amazing when the lady talking
Mm-hmm.
mention exactly what I had in my vision the night before. And I
Wow.
want to quick show a couple of slides here.
Okay. They're
So
the
in
pictures.
the
Okay.
yeah, I have some pictures here. So let me show these.
Oh,
Let's
wow.
see if
Advances
I
in technology and education for better communication.
between the spirit realm. And so she was talking exactly the same thing I was saying the night before, and she was just saying how the spirit world is developing greater communications with us. And I was like, what? That was the message. And then this
Mm-hmm.
lady, her name is Sonia Rinaldi, she
Uh-huh.
started to talk about, and she's been working for years in all the advanced technologies that are being developed for
Mm-hmm.
this purpose. And she was saying that beings, souls like Nikola Tesla is helping with all these process in the spirit world. She was sharing all kind of information, but she started to also show what she's doing to be able to for the spirit world to manifest to us. And she was saying that she's using technologies where she used kind of like some plastic eggs like that, like this,
Hmm.
and then she used a bunch of light, and using this technology and also vapor and all kind of things. She called it transcommunication breakthroughs with images and voices.
Hmm.
And then this is what she's been able to see.
Oh
And
wow.
look, this is the spirit of this boy reflecting here in this egg.
Machine. Wow.
This girl, here is this other girl, a dog. And
Yeah.
incredibly, a lot of these pictures, she did not have the picture of the person.
So she took
She
the picture of the glove, the black glove that she was communicating with,
yes,
and
and she
then she
put them
showed
in
it
a
to the.
database.
Wow.
Hmm. And people start approaching with the pictures, like, look, the picture in your database is the picture of my daughter, or the picture of my
Oh
dog, or
wow.
the picture of who. And then this is absolutely incredible. And in some cases, even though if you see in this case this boy passed at the age of 15, he was
Hmm.
manifesting like at the age when he was 5. In this
Wow.
case, this
Hmm.
girl passed when she was, I don't know, 20 something or 18. And she's manifesting when she was a child. And then the reason for that, and that I learned from the beings of light, and she explained too, is that
Hmm.
they are going to manifest to us in the age in which there was more connection,
Connection.
where we
Wow. Okay.
feel more the sense of moments where we were playful or happy. So this is like, in this case, this old man is going to
Mm.
manifest like the younger
Wow. The
age,
younger
or
version.
yeah. So this is just something incredible, just to tell you all how just
I just want to let you know something.
all
You
this
know,
is moving
yes,
happening. Yeah.
I didn't have any of this technology to communicate with my mom, but years ago, when the telephones came for the first time, it was a brand called Nokia. I don't know if you guys remember, Nokia as an apple, Nokia phones. And I remember the Nokias, they used to have an antenna that you can buy separately. And the antenna, every time that somebody was calling you, it was turning colors like red, blue, or green when it was receiving the signal before the phone was ringing, you know? And everybody was like, oh, let's get the antenna. So everybody was putting the antenna. And I remember one day I was in my mom's house and a friend of my mom came to visit just to say, like, I'm sorry for your mom and all that. And we were sitting in the living room and I was talking with this. He was a lawyer, friend of my mom, and he was sitting in one of the in the love seat. I was sitting on a chair, and one of the chairs that my mom used to love, it was in front of us. So I was showing like to this lawyer, like, look, that was the chair that my mom used to love a lot. Like maybe she's there listening to us. And I remember out of the blue, I just grabbed the phone and said, like, maybe she's there. Let me put the phone. And when I put the phone there, the light up. And I
Oh,
took the phone away and the light came out.
wow.
I said, Mom, are you there? And I put the phone again and the light bling. And I took it away, turn off, put it back, bing. So it was something there that was feeling that electromagnetism or something in that chair when I was putting the phone with the antenna and it felt the vibration that was there. It was really amazing. I never forget that. What do you think?
Oh wow, that's incredible. Yes, yes, yes. Again, that's just all the signals. That's what they were even talking about. Like, look at how all these ways of communication are becoming stronger, and the more also that we open our heart
Oh
and
yeah.
open our mind, and you know, and leave the fear behind, because otherwise the fear kind of blind us, and we cannot really. But it's also when we're ready. I think the important thing is that when we learn to pray, calm the mind, breathe deep, then we make ourselves ready for whatever is to come. We have here, let's see, a question: why
Yeah.
should we judge ourselves if Jesus and the angels don't? I love these, yeah, and we shouldn't. But you know what? Part of sometimes judging ourselves has a little bit of um purpose. And that purpose is not, of course, is not the idea that we should judge ourselves, but the reason why we do it sometimes is to put ourselves in place too, and to say, Ingrid, you didn't do it right.
Hmm.
And it's like when I didn't pass the test and I said, you did not pass this test, Ingrid, and you should study more and should you effort more and you should have done better. So sometimes we don't have to see, and it's very, very true, there's no judgment in the sense that nobody's punishing us,
Hmm.
nobody's telling us you're bad and you should be punished. No, it's our own realization of, I missed the mark. Yes, I should have studied better and I should have put more effort and passed that test. And that we consider judgment is our decision to say, you know what, I'm going to go back or I'm going to go do it again because guess what? I want to be better. I want to evolve. I want to grow. So everything at the end is an act of love
Hmm.
and an act of compassion and the possibility to grow and evolve.
Now, this one: how can we quiet our mind when we're full of fear and anxiety? For me, it has been praying. Praying for me has been a big changer in my life, or meditation, whatever you like. I learned with a friend of mine to meditate. It's called meditation twin hearts. And what meditation twin heart is talking about, that was created by Saint Francis of Assisi, and it's a praying for the world, for world peace. And you pray for the animals, pray for the people, praying for that the world become one love with everything. Look at it; it's really good, and
Mhm.
that will calm your mind. Just put some calm down music, relax, sit down, breathe, because breathing is very, very important to calm the anxiety. Take a deep breath, make like count till 10, then go to YouTube. In YouTube, they have a lot of videos how to breathe, and breathe is gonna calm
Yeah.
down that. Go and make a tea, like a chamomile tea, and that's gonna calm you down too. What do you think? What do you have any tips for this,
Oh, I
Ingrid?
love what you just said. We have to start by, yes, quieting and calming the mind. But another thing that I share
Hmm.
with a lot of the people I have the opportunity to talk with is I teach them practices to learn to not run away from your emotions either. So say that you are able to sit, meditate, or quiet your mind, but at the same time, name those emotions. Name them, because the moment that we start naming them, we own them. It's like if fear is present, means that fear is trying to talk with you. If anxiety is present, it means like, please look at me. I'm fearful. I'm anxious. And if we push it away, we run away. What we're not really looking at is trying to make its way through to be seen. And I love the sentence that says, what we resist persist. So
Yes.
say that we're able to sit quiet and name it. Today, you know what? Today, fear was knocking my door. Fear, fear, fear. I wonder why fear is here. So now we address that fear, anxiety, anxiety. Where does it feel? It feels here in my chest or it feels here in my belly. And you become the presence for whatever is happening. And I love, love, love a sentence that says, what is in the way is the way. So you can use your fear to call for awareness, to call for presence, to call for the very fact that because this fear is here, I'm going to meditate. Because this fear is
Sure.
here, I'm going to pray. So we
Hmm.
use everything that is there to fuel our awareness and our presence and our idea or sense. Let's use this to quiet the mind. So yes,
Yeah,
yes,
sometimes people, it's hard to stop being fearful, or if you're in a problem or something. I'm a kind of person that if meditating is not doing it for me, I just go for a walk. Like here in
yeah,
Atlanta, we have a mountain, it's called Stone Mountain. It's like a mile long going up, and I'm super like anxiety, and I feel horrible like after a long day of work or whatever. and I go all the way to the top of the mountain. And when I get to the top of the mountain, that I'm super tired because you're sending oxygen to your brain, your blood is pumping, like when you get to the top of the mountain, I feel like the whole piece because adrenaline is coming from your whole body, and that's what make you peace. And remember, fear is not real. Fear is created by your mind. I
Mm-hmm.
Years ago when I was a kid, I read a book that is called The Key of Life and Success. And I remember the end of the book said there was a guy dying on a hospital bed, and he called all his sons around them to tell them what was the worst thing that happened in his life. And he said, "Sons, I have to reveal you what happened to me uh, during my life." And the son like, "What happened, Dad? What happened?" Well, it never happened because it was fear. All the things that I
Yes.
thought is gonna happen never happened. So I was so fearful.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm in my dead bed, I will do everything. Anyways, we're gonna die. Like if I knew this, like I'm gonna die anyway, so doesn't matter. I will stop working at the job that I didn't like it. I will tell people what I think, I will live life more freely, you know. And it's that we need to release that. We need to breathe and
Yes,
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 and
I
walk.
absolutely love what you're saying. There was a quick story. There was a disciple that went to his teacher and say, Master, Master, how can I overcome fear? And the master looked at him and said, you cannot overcome something that doesn't exist. Because, like you said, when you're fearful, you're looking into the past. Like you're fearful because of whatever happened in your past, or you're fearful for something you're worrying about a future that doesn't exist. So either or is not even there. And I also then I go to people and I say to people, how do you feel when you are not fearful?
Yeah. I
Good.
yeah.
How you feel when you're not angry? Good. How you feel when you're not sad? Good. So guess what? You are that goodness, that peace.
You have to calm your mind. I don't know if I told last time my story, and I'm just gonna tell the end of the story. I jumped from an airplane with a parachute, and guess what? The parachute didn't open. So I was with an instructor behind me, and he started screaming and yelling like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" I was like, "What? The parachute is not open." So this means that we're gonna die in 30 seconds. Okay, leave me alone. I just need to breathe, and I just need to pray, and I just need to get some air, and in 30 seconds we'll be in heaven. And he started hitting my back like, "No, no, don't do that." I was like, "Just leave me alone. You pack the thing. You forgot to pack it well. Well, now we're gonna be gone." And at the moment that I relax and say, "God, thank you for everything, God. I leave everything to you. I open my heart, and in that moment, I release everything from me, and in that moment, I surrender. And the moment that I surrender, the parachute
Mm.
open, and that's why I'm here. But you see, that was the worst fear of my life. Like I'm gonna
Oh my
die because the
gosh.
parachute didn't open. At the end, it opened. The emergency parachute opened. But I relaxed. I said, "Well, there is nothing else to do. What are you gonna do? Nothing." So, but it works. When you pray, when you relax, when you and I mean, I could think that we're gonna die, and it didn't happen. You see. You, so you never know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I wanted just to say thank you, Carlos. There's
Hmm.
also Amanda here. She said, I feel your pain. Just
Hmm.
lost my mom in November to brain cancer. So sorry, Amanda, and to everybody that have lost
Yeah.
their loved ones. And always just a moment of just breathe deep, and we hold you all in our heart, and we
Hmm.
hold each other. We're never alone. And thank you for sharing with us your.
You're never alone. You're right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's so many comments that are so very beautiful here, and I'm just so very grateful we have the opportunity to share. I see beautiful comments. I don't see more questions because let's read here. My mom
Okay.
passed March 4th last year in August. I was, maybe let's put it here so we can read it. Everybody can see it. in the hospital and same room. She passed in my sedation. She was there chasing for drinking. I was there for being stabbed while on the job. Same two nurses remember her and myself. I was completely freaked out, but mom constantly spoke to me when no one else was there. Wow. Yes, it's every example. There's few in Instagram too, how our loved ones are bringing signals and showing their presence. And this conversation today is just to prove that. Is to
Yeah,
The question was, is the afterlife communication real? Guess what?
that
Yes,
happened to everybody, but nobody wants
yes,
to talk about it, you know. But
yes.
I know that everybody that is watching right now, when you go to your family for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and you sit down in the living room, or you go outside in the patio on a barbecue or something, you talk these conversations, you know, that nobody wants to talk. Oh, do you remember what happened when such and such passed? And oh, let me tell you this story, you know. But nobody is
Yeah.
open to talk about this. You know, it happened to everyone. You know.
And like it's written here, of course, Kaur is not
Hmm.
easy at all. Is not easy, but little by little, as we start, and another good, beautiful exercise is getting together and talk about the person that
Yes. Yes.
passed, sometimes in family or with friends, and that just brings kind of to the light the goodness
Mhm.
of that person, and knowing, yes, this person passed, but her energy is here, and her soul
Yeah.
is here, and her essence is here, or his essence. And then it's always little by little. It takes time. It takes time, but
You're gonna be healing little by little, little by little.
yeah.
I remember I went to a taxi one time after my mom passed, and the taxi driver was looking into the mirror. I said, "Excuse me, son, are you okay?" I said, "Like, no, sir. I'm fine. Don't worry." And he's like, "No, no, no, no. Something is going on with you." I said, like, "Well, my mom just passed." And he said, without me saying anything, he said, "Okay, let me tell you something. He was like 70 something years old, the taxi driver." I said, "Let me tell you something. I'm old. I'm just going to give you this advice. I know that you're grieving your mom right now, and I know it's hard, but every day when you come home, you used to open the door and say, 'Hey, mom, I'm home.' So do it. Just do it. Just every time that you get home, 'Hey, mom, I'm home. I'm still here,' you know." And then he said, little by little, that thing is going to start
Mhm.
healing inside of you until one day you open the door and you know that you're going to have to say anything. But just to liberate that sensation of your mom at home, I mean, I tell you, try it because it helped me a lot.
Yes, yes. Oh, Carlos, this has been an amazing,
Yeah.
amazing evening. We love you all too. I just here's just as I took also, I look at the comments. So much love, so much presence, so
Yes.
many
Thank you.
amazing, beautiful people. All of us have experienced some loss somehow or another, and just know that wow, we are connected. We're never alone, and I'm so happy we had the opportunity to share here today, Carlos, and to
Yes.
just soften the heart and say, this is all good. It's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to
Yeah.
talk about it. It's okay to share. Don't be alone and shake it. Shake it all
Thank
out.
you. And remember, our family just went to heaven. Oh, right here. They went to
Yes, I
heaven
love
first,
that.
but we're gonna be one day together again. So they just
Yes.
took ahead the time, but we will see it again. So don't worry about it. So we're gonna see it in the future.
Yes, yes. So today I think more than questions, we had just many beautiful comments, but
Thank you, everybody.
if
Yes.
you guys want, always write your comments or your questions in our Facebook or YouTube or any of the channels, and we will keep an eye to see how we develop more talks and how we even grab those questions and then create more conversations from the questions that you guys have in mind. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for being
And
here, everyone. And like Ingrid said, we create this space. It's like two friends drinking a coffee in a coffee shop. You know, we just want to talk about spiritual things. It's like why we don't do a podcast and talk with people and people can interact and ask us questions and stuff. You know, and we have our experience that we can share. You know, in this crazy world with all this is happening right now, it's good just to relax and watch. I mean, two guys here talking. I mean, Ingrid and me, and we can give us our insights of the conversations we're giving you guys. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting us enter in your home.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Carlos. And see you next Wednesday.
Yeah. See you next Wednesday. God bless
Yes.
everybody. Love you, everybody, and a big hug to everybody. Okay. Take
Oh,
care.
love you so much. And we're dancing all together. Remember, we're not
Yes.
alone. And
Yes. Yes.
think
Yes.
about the drums and the dancing around the fire. And all the hearts that are sad and grieving, we're holding hands and
Yes.
sharing the light with each other. You're
Yes.
not alone. Never ever.
All right. Thank you. Take care. See you next week.
All right. Oh, gosh. This was just incredible. Bye.
Bye.